Coming to you live from the Now Media Newsroom.
Healthcare in British Columbia continues to be in crisis, and now we saw that mass resignation in Vernon of 7 psychiatrists. We saw the OB-GYNs in Kamloops, and now over 100 OB-GYNs from across BC have signed a letter addressed to the Health Minister and CEO of Interior Health, warning of ongoing concern about maternity care, gynecology services, and women's health in the region. This letter includes 128 signatures and comes almost after 2 weeks after the entire group of 7 quit the Royal Inland Hospital and handed in their resignation. The group of doctors said they hoped their resignation would galvanize IH. We've asked, how many times now have we asked for an interview with the CEO of Interior Health? And this problem with Interior Health goes way back a number of years. When the mayors, I think it was, how many mayors? Okanagan mayors, Thompson Okanagan mayors, 5 or 7 mayors, signed a letter, said that the communications between Interior Health and the communities was almost non-existent, and they asked for something to happen back then. Adrian Dix didn't even let the public know that letter was leaked after, and then the former CEO lost her job, and then they put in an interim and then gave her the job, and here we have again. Where's the communication? How many emails have we sent for asking for an interview? Because this is serious, right? This continues to happen. We've had mass resignations in Kamloops, OB-GYN, and then psychiatrists in Vernon, and then pediatrics here in Kelowna. And now we have 128 doctors, and the CEO again is, they're looking into whether they can find time to talk. That's the problem. They will not be held accountable. They refuse to be held accountable. This is a crisis in British Columbia.
You do get the feeling, don't you, that they consider that to be quite an ugly kind of unpleasant thing to do, to go out and speak to the press.
Well, that's the job.
Even though you're the head of an organization like that, you're the head of an organization that is paid for and exists for the people. I mean, you've got to communicate with them. I mean, it's an obvious responsibility. It's a duty, isn't it? I mean, it's a moral duty and necessity, and yet, where is she?
All 128 doctors who signed the letter said they will not be participating in the IH temporary coverage plans or in the supervision of new hires under current conditions. Instead, the large group of OB-GYNs is encouraging IH and the Ministry of Health to drop their reactive approach and instead acknowledge system failures and work with Kamloops OB-GYNs to find a sustainable solution to the problem. The first thing
that's a lot of OB-GYNs as well. Like what proportion of BC's overall OB-GYN population is that? It must be quite a lot.
Yeah, we've asked for how many interviews? I mean, if this one doesn't want to communicate, maybe let's move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until they decide that they want to communicate. The public is losing trust.
That's it, yeah. And I think with COVID and everything, and lots of other developments in recent years, I feel like maybe a lot of these institutions and the sort of expert class, they got used to just like standing on a box and telling people how it is. Yeah. And then if you asked a question or you expressed any kind of skepticism, then you were just told that you were dangerous or that you were ignorant and that you should shut up in your own interests and in the interests of everybody else. And I think it's on so many different sort of fronts, isn't it? So many different institutions where this has been the case. Justice is another one, the court system. But there's so many. And I feel like we're not in those days anymore. It's not 2020 anymore. It's not even 2021. I don't think you can really expect to get away with this attitude any longer, this sort of hauteur. You've got to get down onto the level of the people, as they would probably phrase it, and speak to them and be accountable to them. Otherwise, your days are numbered. You'll be gone.
And they make good money, too. They make a decent salary. Macklin McCall, MLA here in West Kelowna, Peachland, he put this out here. This was another shooting there in Abbotsford now. Respected community member shot dead in Abbotsford, gunned down on a busy street in broad daylight. And this is close to 3 schools that's happened as well. absolutely. Gun crimes and that. And I mean, they've been talking about that. Even the FBI and the DEA say there's a large Mexican cartel and Chinese gangs operating out of Vancouver. And we've seen shipping fentanyl to New Zealand. It was the biggest bust they ever did, coming in maple syrup bottles. And yet we continue to deny it, and that's the feds again, right? This is from Brian Lilly. Ottawa police reporting a 63% increase in crime in the last 10 years. But according to the Liberals, crime is not an issue. Neither is their bail policies.
Well, they did finally admit that it's an issue, didn't they? And started to sound a lot like the critics. Started to sound a lot like the Conservative Party. But
yeah,
some have said too little too late, haven't they?
And David Eby, the Premier, says he shares Bailey McCord family's impatience with the Liberal crime bill. And this is that sad story that played out here in Kelowna. I think it was hours after being released, he allegedly found Bailey and killed her. Her former husband was later charged with second-degree murder. He had been released on a $500 bail hours before her murder, having been convicted of choking a person.
He's not put in a plea yet, has he? I think that's going to happen next month. We don't even know what his defense is going to be, if he's going to have a defense. But I find it interesting that everybody, including Eby's a lawyer. You know, he talks about it often enough. Most people probably know that. But the presumption of innocence, and so Sean Fraser as well. I think he's a lawyer. Presumption of innocence, just like completely in the garbage. They're just like constantly saying, and then this guy, when he murdered this woman, it's like, we haven't had a trial yet. Don't use that language. He's accused of murdering. You know, if like we can get it right, I'm sure they can get it right. Cheeky buggers that they are. But this is very interesting because he said during this press conference that he's going to meet with the family. But the family at the same time had sent a statement to the BC Conservatives where they kind of they're not happy with either the Liberals or the BC NDP. So they're trying again with the like attempt to control the narrative. David Eby's trying to like get on top of this, he's trying to like own this, but the family aren't playing ball. You know, they're really upset with the left wing parties, to put it clearly, the NDP and the Liberals, whereas they're cozying up with the federal Conservatives and the BC Conservatives.
And we've done lots on this Richmond land decision there for the Cowichan tribe. Now Eby's being accused of stirring up unnecessary fears over the Aboriginal title case. And he's been attacked by I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, Kwaanutsan Nation over comments about the Aboriginal title case in Richmond. The nation, whose members include the Cowichan tribe, said comments made by politicians, including Eby, have been at best misleading and the worst deliberately inflammatory and have stirred up unnecessary fears among landowners. It comes after the BC Supreme Court ruled that Cowichan tribe have title over the Richmond property, prompting Eby to say concerns among landowners were reasonable. This is a landmark decision that is being challenged right now, and the NDP have appealed the decision, and it awarded about 700 acres, I think it's 780 acres of land that included privately held land by individuals. I think there's a Walmart on there, a few other things, and then there's a property.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, the city of Richmond owns some of the properties as well. And the city of Richmond mayor is the one that raised the alarm as well, because Eby and them were just kind of like lurking in the background, not saying much until their hand was forced. I actually interviewed the finance minister, Brenda Bailey, asked her this question as well, uncertainty on capital investment in British Columbia and how this caused concern. And also I've interviewed Jeff Moist twice now, the Aboriginal lawyer that's worked for the government for like 31 years, and I have an interview coming up with him as well on this. This is an important decision, and they say that the Canadian Supreme Court will not hear this until it is exhausted through the BC Supreme Court, and that could take 5 to 7 years. For right now, those lands in Richmond have a cloud hanging over them, basically impossible to sell right now, because, I mean, who would buy them?
It's just hell for those people. I pity them enormously, and they're gonna learn just how slow and useless the justice system can be, because it's going to be, I mean, imagine if if you were living there and you had plans to move to go and, like, I don't know, live with someone like your kids or something, or your parents in another part of BC or another part of Canada, what are they going to do? Those people, like, their lives are going to be on hold for like the best part of a decade now because of this. And yet, one of these nations has the goal to come out and attack people who are concerned about it. I mean, it's a very curious approach, really, isn't it?
We don't just report the news, we live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.